Storytelling through space is about adventure seeking, it's about memories, and it's about bringing joy. It's about seeing the thing on the wall that your friend made you, and you see it every time and you think of them. It's about hanging that really cool ceramic vase or putting it on a table or something and thinking about your travels every time you see it. But when you have those touch points, you're building a story in your mind and you're building a story for anybody else who experiences your space because it's the physical representation of you. Every shift you want to make in your life, it starts with home. I'm Ariel, your host, and this is the podcast where design meets intention, energy, and becoming more you. Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of It Starts With Home. Today, we're going to dive into the design process. So wherever you are, if you're taking a beautiful walk outside, if you're folding some laundry, doing the dishes, commuting, wherever you are, I am so grateful that you showed up today because this is probably going to be the most impactful episode I've done yet because I'm giving it all away. I'm giving my secret sauce away. I'm going to tell you what I use for all my clients, whether they be in million-dollar homes, or we're working with a really tight budget. I use the same process. I've used the same process for all of my friends' homes and my family's homes because it works every single time, and I think everybody deserves to know about this. When I first started designing, I used to think that it was all about the perfect couch or where I got that Eames chair from, or I was obsessed with specific design styles like really into mid-century modern or really into a bohemian style space. I was really gravitating towards these words. And it helped me define a Pinterest style or where I could find inspiration from. But as an early designer, I really struggled to get from the look to the feel. Ooh, I love that. The look to the feel. So this is what that is about. It's about the transition and the transformation of how to go through that, which is so fun. It's getting out of the doom scroll on Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you're sourcing your information from, your inspiration from, and getting that into an actual transformation of your space. So when I was tied to these words, when I was tied to these designers and having that specific thing and that specific look, it held me back. It held me back from looking at other manufacturers. It held me back from exploring my own taste, my own style, my own expression. So don't limit yourself to these keywords. We're going to get out of that, and we're actually not going to talk about style at all in this whole episode because it's not part of my process. This is the thing where my clients feel less overwhelmed. They can tell me what they like, but they don't know why, and that's where I come in. They get to tell me about their lives and how they live them and what's the best reflection of them and how we can improve their daily habits. The rest is the magic sauce. So I know if you're listening to this or watching this, wherever you are, you have great taste. You just need a method to implement it. You just need a little more expertise and you need to trust your gut a whole lot more. And this process is how I learned how to do it. Now, I don't know if other designers do this. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I know it works for me, and I am 100% without a doubt it will help you in all matters and all forms. Okay, so before I touch any layouts, before I touch any swatches, before I go down the inspiration rabbit hole, I zoom out. I think about the client and I put my detective hat on. I deeply think about the way they interact with space, who they are, and how they live their life within that space. What are they doing in there? Because functionality absolutely must come first. Otherwise, the space is just useless. It can look beautiful, but it won't function, and we need spaces that actually function, that actually work. We need to design them from the inside out. That's the magic of it all. This is what makes my clients feel less overwhelmed, more grounded, and like they can actually use the space. It means they can actually use their home and it looks beautiful. So here we go. Step 1, we're going to call this feel the feels. We are emotional beings. You have to be in touch with your emotions before any of this starts, okay? You can actually do this without even knowing where you're going to live. You can envision this for your next move, for your future home, You can do it when the space is empty. You can do it when the space is full. You're going to imagine the feeling of the space done. What's the emotion? What's the feeling? What's the vibe? Is it calm? Is it exciting? Is it happy? Is it joyous? Is it filled with friends and family? Is it somewhere that grounds you, calms you down, lights you up? Is it a dance party room or is it a meditation room? Think about the vibe. And I want you to match an emotion to it, if not 5 or 6. What are the things that you're going to be thinking, feeling, expressing in that space? And how do you want to feel? Start there. Now, in the space that I'm at my dad's house and I'm staying here for a little bit. When I asked them this, they just wanted to relax. They wanted to be at home. My dad has worked so hard and has been so stressed for so many years, and it is amazing to see how calm he is here and how he just gets to come here and relax. And I think that's the best vibe for a retirement home. Be grounded, chill out, relax. Now I know the vibe. Once I know the vibe, then I can move into the layout and the flow. So once I knew the emotion they wanted to feel, I could take that and translate it into floor plans. Now, you don't have to be a floor plan expert to do this. There are so many free tools online to make floor plans. And if you don't know how, you can get a copy of my book, Your Space Made Simple, and it has all the floor plans in there for you based on your room size and what furniture size you'll need for that space. So you don't even have to second guess it, which is awesome. But that floor plan matters. When I did the space that's behind me, I think I did 5 or 6 layouts, and each of them had a different purpose. And this is why the emotion matters. The first layout was very entertainment style. I'm going to host a lot. I'm going to have a lot of people over. I'm going to be cooking a lot and having my friends over. And that's very much them, but not all of the time. Some of the time. The second layout was the chill out layout. I want a big sectional and I want to sit here and I want to watch TV all day and be a potato and relax. And I love that. But I find that overwhelming sensation when I see a massive sectional. It's really hard to socialize with people because I'm turned at an awkward angle and it doesn't feel comfortable and I feel awkward. So that wasn't the layout for them either because I knew they would somewhat want to host. And I knew that they would also want to relax. But are we really relaxing when we're watching TV or are we numbing? And this space that they have has a beautiful view and a beautiful backyard. So maybe, just maybe, we don't want to prioritize the TV here. And I talked them through that. And you know what? They went for it. No TV in the living room. And I love it. They're able to relax. And that goes back to the feeling of being grounded. So the layout that we landed on was kind of a mix in between. They have a curved sectional to kind of break up all the lines that are in here. And it's not super deep, but it's not upright and stiffy. It's kind of both. We have some funky accent chairs that you can read in or lounge in or have a conversation in, so it's comfortable when guests are over, but it's also comfortable if you just want to chill out and take a nap. You have both. It feels sophisticated, but it also feels calm. But we always tied it back to the feeling. Calm, grounded, relaxed, retirement, spa. Those were the words. Those were the things. And when we do that, it gives purpose to the layout. Gives purpose to the functionality. It gives purpose to our habits. And I suggest that you do those 2 things first before you ever go seeking inspiration, before you ever pick out any materials. All right, quick break. I want to talk about this course that I launched, Doom Scroll to Design Plan. If you've made it through the first 2 steps, this course really will help outline it even deeper. And you know what? You get me right next to you doing the whole thing. And the goal at the end is you have a space that's done, that's aligned, that reflects who you are and reflects whatever emotion feels good in your body that we decide on in that time together. It's a blast. You get so many tools and free resources in there that nobody else has access to. This is the process I use for all my clients to get them from empty to complete beautiful space. And we're doing it and you get access to it And it's so fun. It's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling to see a space that you did. And I empower you. You have great taste. You just need a method to get there. And this is that course. So go sign up. You don't want to miss it. All right. The third step is picking your anchors. That's your main furniture pieces, okay? So now we have a layout, we know the vibe. That narrowed out a ton of options because now that we know we want calm, relaxed, and we want a curved sectional, my options are somewhat limited, and that's a helpful tool. I don't want to be looking between 55 million options. I want to pick a few. That's it. And that's what helps us. So pick those anchors, the main rug, the main sectional, the main accent chair. Those are your base layer, the main chandelier. This is like the things you're going to be using all the time, sitting on all the time, utilizing, touching, feeling. And the materials tie back to the feeling. You can do this instinctively. I trust you. It's not about picking the right blue or the right green. It's, does this make me feel calm or elevated? Does this make me feel happy or relaxed? And usually when you sit with that and you ask your gut that and you just kind of close your eyes for a second, the first answer, the one that's soft and quiet, that like, yes, that's your gut telling you to go for it. And I think we should listen to that a lot more. But the vibe and the layout together help us get there with that base layer. So that was picking out the sectional, like I said, and the rug, and kind of coordinating those materials and colors together to match that vibe. Okay, so now you have your base layer. You know the feeling, you know how it's gonna look. Now we're gonna add in the cool stuff, which is the family photos, your artwork, throw pillows, decor, texture. If you haven't heard me talk about it, all 6 senses come in this phase. It almost kind of feels like at this point you've got bare bones and now we're layering on top the jewelry. It's the beautiful stuff, right? It's the things that have flavor and soul and color. They're the things that represent who you are. And the reason we do this last is so that we meet functionality. We absolutely have to have things that function for our bodies and our physical space. But the second thing is they add character. Those smaller things, those layered elements, that's what adds the vibe. The small table lamp, the floor lamp, the sconce, those are the softer elements that tie it all together. But that base layer, doing it first, is so important. And then what we do is we tie it all back to that emotion. So now I know my rug has blues and greens in it. I can pull this really cool picture that I took in Hawaii and I'm going to hang it on my wall because it has those same blue and greens. So it's not about things matching. It's about things coordinating. It's about intention and using your intuition to find those things. And again, if you're struggling at all with this, I give it all away in my course. You'll get to know all the secrets. And by the end, it will look like you had an interior designer design your home, because it's magic when you use these steps. When you're layering in these soul elements, it's important that they reflect your story. Now, everybody has different opinions on photos on the wall. Some people love them and some people don't. Storytelling through space is about adventure seeking, it's about memories, and it's about bringing joy. It's about seeing the thing on the wall that your friend made you, and you see it every time and you think of them. It's about hanging that really cool ceramic vase or putting it on a table or something and thinking about your travels every time you see it. But when you have those touch points, you're building a story in your mind and you're building a story for anybody else who experiences your space, because it's the physical representation of you. That doesn't mean designing for somebody else. That means somebody else who enters your sacred space gets to know the real version of you. And that is so special. That's why it's important to align everything with you. And sometimes that comes from decluttering and removing things. And sometimes that comes from adding things and risk-taking. Everybody's a little bit different. And the thing with those elements is that they should and need and must move. You don't need to hang a picture and have it hang there for the next 25 years. You can do that. It can also move. If you have room, if you have wall space, That vase can flutter around the home and move to different places. You can move things around. It's what changes the space. It's also why, going back to step 2, the layout is so important. Sometimes with really busy families or people who are just always on the go, I'll pick more modular furniture so that they can move it around a lot, so that they have 10 different spaces in one. They can play with things and move things. And that's just dependent on who the client is and who you are, but consider all of those things in there because the soul comes in with the tiny little stuff. And those elements happen one step at a time. You might travel here and pick something up. You might find something at a little shop in town and pick it up. They don't happen all in a day. Those don't get sourced in a day. And that's the beauty in it. It's this kind of ever-growing, ever-changing space. But again, that base layer, that feeling, that emotion, that's always what we're tying back to and gravitating towards. It's what keeps us on track. Okay, so wherever you are in your home journey right now, whether the space is done, incomplete, empty, you're building it, wherever you are, I really want you to ask yourself, what's the vibe? Don't go doom scrolling on Instagram. Don't go doom scrolling anywhere. Don't look at any books. Just look inwards. What's the vibe? What do you want to feel? I think when I ask clients that, they come up with the most unique and special words. They come up with really special things, and to be able to reflect that in a physical form is so fantastic because they get an expression of selves. It's like they get to see who they are with their own eyes in a way when you have that physical representation. And the best part is also sharing it with people and having people over and experiencing it together. And it's a new way to get to know you. So really ask yourself, what's the vibe? What is it? What do you want to express? How do you want to feel? Why do you want to feel that way? I think the important thing here is that the awareness or just noticing some of these questions that you're posing to yourself is really the first step. It really is. It's really taking notice of what feels good to you and writing that down without even doing anything with it. You just kind of know, this is how I want to feel. This is how I want to be held in my space. That's the magic. Hold on to that. Keep looking back to those words. Okay, I love a space whisper of the week. You know that. And this one is, I wrote this down in my notebook. Let me get it. Design isn't just about choosing things. It's about choosing how you want to feel. It's all about the feels. It's all about building emotion. That's something that we need to really take in and love and admire and channel more. Let's get in touch with the emotions. That's what makes us feel held. If you are struggling with the style bit, if you just can't figure it out and you're like, I don't know what to do, I have a freebie. You can figure out your style in 5 pins. Now, I know this whole episode was not about style, but if you're struggling to figure out the emotional side, but you know what you like sage green, you like yellow cabinets, I don't know, whatever the things are. See if that will help you pick out an emotion, because I'll give you some in that freebie. And I think it's really helpful to sometimes take the visual and turn it into an emotion, but always start with the emotion. So if you are struggling with that and you really just want to know your style, because I know many of you are asking me that all the time, go get it. It's free. It's super helpful. It takes about 10 minutes and you're done, and you're going to feel so confident about what to do next. I don't know about you, but I'm really enjoying recording and sharing these episodes with you, especially in really unique spaces that I've got to design and share with you along the way. So if any or all of this or some of this resonated, please let me know. Send me a message, comment. I would love to hear from you. I can't wait to see how these tips and tricks help you in your own home. And if you have used any of them, please let me know. Send me a picture. I can't wait to see your own progress and keep rooting for you. So have a great day, guys. We'll see you next week.